Hi, my name is Marcellus Lindsay, and I'm the i2i coach, the i2i trainer, and the i2i consultant. And I help entrepreneurs and solopreneurs get more out of themselves, their teams, their businesses, and their lives. So that way you can make more money, you can get more fulfillment, and you can continue to spread the message that you've invested your time, heart, passion, and life into in the form of a business. Now, have you ever had a week or a day or even a month where you look back and you say, oh my goodness, I was so busy, I did all my planning right, everything was on point, I attended all these meetings, and then you look at your bank balance and your bank balance doesn't reflect that kind of activity. Or maybe you're having a really good month and you're saying, okay, the money's flowing, things are going good, and there's that voice in the back of your head kind of saying, hey, this can't last forever. And you can't even say with certainty how long the good times will last. Well, I know that same feeling, and I've been through the same thing, because I'm a consultant and I've worked in large companies and small companies, but I run my own company. And there's only one of me, and there's so many things to do. In fact, I'm a project manager, so I've been really good at scheduling my time. But there were times, in just the most recent times, where I've looked at my time, looked at my bank balance and said, wait a second, that doesn't really match up. I've been traveling around the world and doing great things, having a good time, and there's that voice in the back of my head going, it's not going to last. But I can't even shout back at that voice and say, it will last until this, because of the fact that I wasn't really certain about what the future would hold or what the prospects were. Now, there are ways to look at these things. There's time management, there's time planning. So what I did was I kind of looked through all the stuff that I've done with Tony Robbins and the Stephen Covey work, as well as even some of the official documentation that I did from project management. And they were all about lists and prioritization, and it's all about these plans. And I'm not saying that planning isn't important. Planning is very important. But I found that a number of the projects I worked on, the people who are paid to do the planning, even they find it difficult to sit and look at that plan every single day. So that makes it difficult. So then I also looked at maybe looking into the sales process and saying, okay, well, there's a definite process for getting people from the fact that when I first meet them to all the way where I close a sale and I make a sale with them. But that didn't necessarily deal with time. It dealt with the process. It wasn't until I had a great conversation with a good friend of mine. She's a master practitioner, NLP trainer, sales trainer. And I went through a process with her and she spoke to me about income producing activities. And I'm like, wait a second. That means there is a link. There is a link between time management and the sales process. But you know what? To be honest, I don't have the time to be sitting in front of some complex application. Because in the old world, you have the planning like Microsoft Project, or you have all the planning tools and you have the books and you write everything down. And it's all about this to-do list. But I didn't really want to spend all my time doing to-do lists. In the old world, you also had things like the software applications that you could put in all the information that you have on the sales process, where they are, what time, and who did you meet, and when did you meet them, what's their name, what's their address, and all that other stuff. We're running businesses here, often single-handedly. You know, if you're a solopreneur, or you're a consultant, or you're a coach, or you're a trainer. Our job isn't to be sitting behind a desk doing to-do lists, or putting information into software just so we can track things. It's about creating products, delivering services. And that's usually where the passion lies as solopreneurs and entrepreneurs. So there has to be a middle ground where we can balance sales management and time management into one simple process. Because there is a new world. There's a new world where things can actually go back to basics, be simple, and be low tech. But use those principles that have always driven all the things that people have put into technology. So, what I looked at was 3 key principles within both of the processes: intent, engagement, and frequency. And this, when we look at that and build something from that, this is what allows you to be able to have something that you can do starting with 15 minutes a week that can give you the confidence and clarity that you are confident you know what's going on in your schedule, in your life, in your business. That you can have a good insight into whether there will be a gap in the cash flow before it shows up as a gap in your cash flow. That you can have that security, understanding the processes, and then out of that be able to ask powerful questions to the professional people that you have around you supporting you in running your business, whether that's a member of your team or the professional services that are provided and that you pay for. So the solution to me, when I looked at both those things of intent, engagement, and frequency, was looking for the common ground and looking for the equation, so to speak, about how I could merge time management with the sales process. And by the way, doing this in a way that was going to be low tech. It was going to be accessible to people whether you don't plan at all, or if you're the kind of person who plans all your schedules and activities, but still have that feeling of which ones are actually making me money. Because many of the systems that we're taught in planning time don't look at that outcome of making money. So the equation I first came up with to make sure that it was clear in my mind was A equals not P. Activity does not equal productivity. The secret is, even if you do planning all the time, to identify the activities that you'll be doing in your schedule that will make sure that you are moving closer toward closing those sales. That means closing the sales means you make money. Making money means that your business gets to continue being in business. It's as simple as that. Let's look at some of these core principles. There's intent, there's engagement, and there's frequency. In planning, the intent is to set your intention of what you want to achieve. In sales management, the intent is to make sure that you're aware of the process, to make sure you go all the way from the qualification through rapport, through education and information, all the way through to the close. Engagement in time management is about engaging with those goals, engaging with those activities, and getting them completed to make sure that we're moving toward the goal that we set for ourselves. Engagement in sales management is all about engaging with the customer, engaging with them to make sure that you take them through those stages of qualification, rapport, education, information, and the final close. Frequency in time management is all about the fact that you want to frequently check back on the progress that you're doing, your to-do list, putting the ticks in the box, making sure that you check back so that way you're adjusting your course and making adjustments along the way to get more efficiently and more effectively to the outcome of completing your goals and objectives. Frequency in sales management can often be referred to the fact that you, number one, need to make sure that you know where those prospects are in the whole process of taking them from being a prospect through to being a customer, but also frequency in the amount of times that you keep your message in front of people and you're having those engagements to make sure that they move through the process in a more predictable way. So, what I did was I came up with a way to merge time management, all the best practice from time management and planning, with sales management, understanding the key stages that your customers go through in order to close that sale, and actually create 7 simple steps. 7 steps that you can follow that are accessible, they're low tech, and they're really, really practical. Better yet, subtly, what they also do is they open up your knowledge and awareness to the things that actually drive your business. Especially if the fact that you're one of those people that you don't really like the numbers and all that such, you really want to be aware of these things because you have to know these if you own your business. So, the 7 steps. The first one is look at the promotions that you're running, specific promotions and what specific areas. Then you look at the prospects. Who are the people who are actually responding to the promotions that you're doing? Then you look at the proposals. Which of the people that were prospects now have a clear decision to make? I'm buying or I'm not buying. How many of them are there? Then looking at partners. Now, I didn't say customers because I actually mean partners. Partners being the fact that you may have customers, you may have clients, but they're also partners. You're joint working with them. They're giving something of value to you. You're giving something of value to them. And when you combine them with the suppliers that you work with, these are people that are actually some of your best promoters. Get it? We're back to promotions again. Then also the 4th step, after going from partners and going to the 5th step, is all around setting specific times that you're going to engage with those specific people in those specific areas. After that, setting your intention of what do you want to feel for yourself and what experience do you want to create for the people that you work with and you serve. And then the last step is to recognize the killer, the number one, the I've got to do this right now in order to stay in business, the priorities. Make sure that these are the full priorities. All of this can be done in about 30 minutes once you get into the habit. But the key thing is, the mistakes that many people make is, first of all, they don't actually set the habit. As in, put it in a schedule and make sure this is the most important thing to do on said day per week. Then they also don't keep their goals in front of them. So sometimes it's difficult because you have to be looking at your phone, or if you're at your desk and you're putting something up on the wall. So they don't keep it in front of them to frequently look at it. And another mistake people make is that they don't actually take the time to engage with people who are going to be able to help them and help develop those skills. Well, the fact that you're still listening to this means that you're not one of those people who want to make mistakes, who want to have that uncertainty about what's going to be happening in the future. And you want to make sure that your cash will flow and your business will grow. Now, I know this sounds like a lot to take in, and it's a lot to try and condense into just a few minutes that we have here. Hence, the reason why I've created an online training session that will take you through those 7 steps. Not only that, when you register, you're going to get a practical, hands-on, physical item in your hand sent to you in the post that will allow you to be able to not only plan for the coming week, but the weeks ahead, and have something that can stay present on your desk, a nice IPA desk planner. Additionally, you'll get a range of other items and access to discounts and other premium services where I can work with you one-to-one to make sure that you are focusing on income-producing activities. To engage with me and to be able to work with me so I can help you do more with less, simply go to the web address www.bit, Bravo India Tango.ly. That's bit.ly/IPA, all in lowercase, for cash 01. That's bit.ly/IPA for cash 01, and you can register for this event. Now, there is a cost for the event because you are actually going to get physical product in your hand sent to you in the post, that you'll be able to have a desk planner to be able to make sure that after going through this process, you can begin the brief 30 minutes per week process that will have you start a habit for life. This is a habit that you can set for a lifetime, and this habit is your lifeline to knowing how much cash is going to be coming through your business, because it's going to open up your mind to bigger, better, and greater things while still being very simple, very straightforward, and very clear. I look forward to meeting you on the webinar and connecting with you either at the webinar or in the future workshops that I'll be doing with the Business Wealth Club.